Well, hello. This is my proxy server presentation on Squid, and my name is Christian Mena. So, first of all, we need to understand what is a proxy server. In a proxy server, it is a computer gateway. Okay, it is well, it's also known as a proxy, and is when a computer acts as a gateway between a local network and a larger scale network such as the internet. And proxy servers can have different value or add different value to your system. It can increase performance and also increase security. For example, it can increase the performance, and in other cases, like I mentioned, the security. For example, they can monitor employees' use of outside resources during uh, at work. And how does this proxy server works? It, it can intercept connections. A proxy server works by intercepting connection between sender and receiver. It can also block direct access. Uh, for example, all incoming data enters through one port and is forwarded to the rest of the network via another port. And they can block direct access between two networks. It can also be more difficult. It makes it more difficult for uh, hackers to attack this type of servers because it's more difficult to get into the internal addresses and details of the network. One of these proxy servers is Squid, and Squid is a proxy server that acts as a caching and forwarding HTTP web proxy. And it contains a wide range of uses, such as it can speed up the web server by catching repeated requests, catching web, also DNS and other computer network lookups for a group of people sharing network resources, and adding security while filtering traffic. Uh, and these are some of the things I just mentioned: the speeding web server, catching web, DNS, and the filtering and security of the network. Now I'm going to demonstrate how to install and configure Squid in a virtual machine. And in this presentation, I also attach this PowerPoint presentation that it contains the commands that I use to configure Squid. And I'm gonna use it on my virtual machine with Ubuntu 64-bit. I'm gonna start on my virtual machine here. It takes a little bit uh, for Ubuntu to load in the workstation. There you go. It's a very useful operating system. So first of all, you need to enter your password. Okay. Once you get into the operating system, here we go. So the way that I'm gonna install and configure um, Squid on Ubuntu is gonna be through the terminal on Ubuntu, and that's gonna be for the installation part. And then to configure, I'm gonna open an editor. So, okay, first of all, we're gonna open our terminal here. And I already installed Squid in my virtual machine, but just gonna show you the commands that I use. So you type sudo apt get install Squid. Okay, so this command, it will instead install Squid into your virtual machine in this case, but on Ubuntu. Once you get the installation, you need to configure your web browser. But in order to do that, you need to get your proxy network. So, and to do that, you type if config. So right here, in the second line on the left, this is your IP address. It's 192 and all of this number. So then you open your browser. In this case, I'm gonna open Firefox. And I'm gonna use that IP address to configure my browser so Squid can work on my browser. So there you go. It's like I said already, install Squid. So let's see. So you go to edit and then preferences. Go all the way down to where it says network proxy. Change the settings. And over here where it says the default for the fireworks, it is on auto detect proxy. So change it to manual proxy and then enter the IP number that you got from the terminal. And Squid works on the port 3128. Also, something very important is to click here where it says use this proxy server for all protocols, because that's going to help you with the configuration of proxy, and explain later why. So once you get all the information here, just click OK, and you can close this one, and close Firefox for now, and then you go back to the terminal, and then you're gonna enter the following command: sudo get it etc squid squid.conf. So with this command, you're gonna open a text editor. It's gonna ask me for my password. It's the same password that I use to log in into Ubuntu. And here we go. So this is my editor. So the way I'm gonna demonstrate how Squid works is I'm gonna go to line 680. I was trying to set it up so I can uh, look for the numbers here on the lines. It didn't let me do it, so but I'll show you where to go. So you scroll down, and we're gonna have to configure two things. So in this list, right where it says recommended minimum configuration, there's an ACL list that we're gonna configure here a little bit, just two lines. But if you scroll down, you're gonna get to uh, this point where it says insert your own rules here to allow access from your clients. So Squid comes with the default that the HTTP access denies all connections. So the first time you use Squid, you're not gonna be able to use your web browser because it's gonna have a denial um, default. Okay, so but in this case, I'm gonna change it to access to allow all access to the internet in the browser. And then if you scroll up to the list that I just mentioned before, the ACL, right here, you're gonna add two more lines. And in this one, I'm gonna, since I allowed all the access on the browser, with these lines, I'm gonna block certain websites that I wanna get access to. So you're gonna type ACL block dash websites DST domain. This is a very important command. And then .facebook.com and twitter.com. Those are the two websites that I'm gonna block. I'm not gonna be able to visit those um, sites. And then you're gonna write HTTP dash access deny blocked websites. So here in the first line, you're gonna mention which sites are you blocking, and this is the command that's gonna block them. So after you make those two changes, you save it, and then you close this, and then you go to your browser. Again, you open it, and in this case, I'm gonna show that I can go to YouTube and I get access into it. But if I try to go to, let's open this faster here. If I try to go to Facebook, it's gonna deny the access. The same with Twitter. It's gonna deny it because of that. Those two lines that add denying the access of this. Now, when I was setting up this this proxy server, this Squid, um, if you don't get it to work the first time, try to go uh, to edit the proxy server on the Firefox, and make sure then the network setting proxy setting that you click here the use this proxy server for all protocols, because if you don't, you won't have access to any websites, or you can have access to all the websites and you won't be able to restrict access to the websites that I just mentioned before. Make sure that you have the port correct, 3128, and that you use the correct IP number with the um, in the terminal configuration where you can get the terminal. I'm sorry, the IP address. Other than that, I think this proxy server is very useful. I like the idea of having a more control access to the internet, where I can block access to specific sites uh, that I don't want to have access to it. Thanks for the time.